Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Dr. Reasons here. I'm Assistant Head Teacher at Eberval. Just a short video about the Year 9 options process. First order of business, do not panic. We've got everything under control. Your children probably know more than I do and you do about all the little careers that they could be interested in the future. But we've been on part of a journey. We've had some taster lessons with teachers. We've now got to the point where we have on our school website all of the different options available to our young people. So if I just stopped here, for instance, if I clicked on additional mathematics, it would go to the video, and the lovely Mr. Clayton is here telling us a little bit about our brand new option for the first time this year. Right, I won't spoil the surprise. Let's go back to the presentation. So once the students have watched some of the videos, they will have a look at our pre-option survey. Our pre-option survey, by any other name, just gives us some ideas about what the students are interested in about all of the subjects that we're able to offer. Last count, there were 22 different offerings that we have, one of the biggest of any schools that I know. So what we'll ask each of the children to do is to click on 3 subjects that are of interest to them, and it'll help us create some choices for them. I'll go into that a little bit later. So our young people are already doing that part. And then after the survey will come the real option choices. So if I've got this correct, this will be last year's real option choices. So after the little survey, the students will see on the parents' evening a table that looks like this. And we will need them to select one subject from the first column, one from the second column, and one from the third column. And we'll also ask them to pick a reserve, just in case for some reason, maybe it's too large, a class that wants to do a particular option, or in some cases, we don't have enough students selecting it. Now, I'll give you an example. You can see that health and social care with childcare is in 2 of the columns. So you could opt for geography in the first column, then health and social care, and then maybe construction in the third column. Or you can do it in a different format, but you have to choose one from each of the columns. But we haven't made that option choices for this year. You can see in terms of our timeline, you will see that for the first time ever on March the 9th on the parents' evening. Right, it's probably worth us telling you a little bit about these orange things. It just means that it's a GCSE equivalent. So if somebody says BTEC engineering, you can think of it as GCSE engineering. It's worth the same to colleges, worth the same to employers, but it just has a different title in front of it. So GCSE are the ones that are traditionally subjects like geography, history, art, so on and so forth. And then these orange ones are traditionally ones that have a high degree of a practical element. So things like engineering, as I suggested earlier, construction, catering, BTEC sport, or sports leaders, would you believe? This term level 1 just means a qualification at a grade that's below a C, and level 2 is usually referred to grades that are Cs and above. Okay, the next thing which surprises most parents is that the students already do 8 GCSEs already, or within the first couple of weeks of getting into year 10. There are 2 English ones, that's literature and language. Mathematics and numeracy make the second one. The traditional double award science that probably most of us studied when we were in school. There's Welsh, and there's religious values and ethics. PE is also a subject, but there's no exam. We still offer PE once a week for an hour. So what we're asking your children to do is to choose 3 extra subjects on top of these 9. And as I've just shown you earlier, there are 22 subjects to choose from, so plenty of choice. Some things to consider when you are looking at a subject is, are you enjoying it, or would you enjoy it? Are you interested in it? Do you think of, or can you think of a career that you might end up progressing onto? But please don't do it because your mate's doing it. It's usually the biggest difficulty for us as a school is to resolve students that have chosen the wrong subject because their mate at the time was doing it. We do allow everybody a kind of a period of grace, which is the first 2 weeks in September of year 10. If for some reason that you've chosen the wrong subject or you're not liking it or it's not what you thought it was, we'll do our best to change it for you, assuming there's room in the place or in the subject that you want to move to. Some things to bear in mind when you are going around speaking to teachers on the parents' evening is, does it involve coursework, the subject that you're interested in? Is it an exam? Is it a little bit of both? And also to reflect on those questions for yourself. Are you the type of student that leaves everything till the last minute? And in which case, maybe things that have a lot of coursework probably isn't of interest to you. Now, a few dates to keep in mind is we'll see you on the 9th of March for the parent consultation event. On the 13th of March, which if I got my dates correct should be the Monday, we will send a link to the real option form. And then we give students a week to make their choices with their parents and carers, and then make sure that you've returned it by March the 20th. After March the 20th, I crunch the numbers, make sure that we can run all the subjects. And if for some reason a student's first choice is not available, I will come and see them before the end of the month. Any questions at all? There's 3 of us down the bottom. Mrs. Jones, the leader of learning. Mr. Hart is my counterpart and assistant head, and obviously myself. Emails are good for us, but feel free to visit us on Parents' Evening if you've got any specific questions that we might be able to answer. So that's it from me. Hwyl fawr, looking forward to seeing you on the Parents' Evening. So I wanted to just let you know a little bit about pathways. So as is the case in most schools, success looks different for different students. So we have a 3-pathway system. So students in pathway A are usually students that have shown an interest in studying maths or physics, chemistry, and biology at further education. Students in pathway C have shown an interest in entering the jobs market when they are 16, or perhaps they're considering apprenticeships. And what will happen is students in different pathways will see a slightly amended version of that. So for instance, as I said before, if you're in pathway A, you'll see a triple science as a choice. And if you're in pathway C, you'll see what I would call work skills, which is our double-weighted B grade qualification, which centers around applying for jobs, application forms, CVs, interview techniques, community projects, and so on and so forth. So bottom line is, if you've seen our website and you looked at a video and you think, where is that choice on my option form, which you get on March the 9th, just let us know. If it's not there, come and have a chat with Mr. Hart, myself, Mrs. Jones, and we'll do our best to resolve whatever query that you've got. Thanks for listening. Diolch, hwyl fawr.